Hello students, Mr. Yan here. Welcome to the introduction to our first content chapter. If you look at where we're at in the modules, we're about to start right down here. There we go, chapter 1. Just published it. You'll be seeing this. So this is our chapter 1 intro. Pretty much all our chapters work in very similar ways. We have an introduction day, and then a day pretty much for each lesson with some random things thrown in there. And then we have a study day and a test day. So longer chapters will take longer to do, and shorter chapters will obviously take less time. But for today, here we are, chapter 1 introduction and the vocab with the vocab quiz. Let's start, shall we? This chapter is called What Does a Historian Do? There are 3 lessons in this chapter. I'm checking them out, and they are called, what do we got here? What is history? How does a historian work? And researching history. So lesson 1 will be things like what exactly is history? How do we measure it? What constitutes what is history? We'll talk a lot about measuring time, things like how calendars work and eras, some of our vocab words that you'll be seeing. Oh, we learn all about the Julian and Gregorian calendar. So those are some fun things. And like what anthropology is, some big history-like words. Lesson 2, how does a historian work? This is an important one because we talk about the differences between primary and secondary sources, which is something you'll be talking about in history pretty much from now until you end your formal education. Things like that. Lesson 3, I lost it. It's somewhere in here. Oh, doing research, and especially important, doing research on the internet. We talk about things like if you can tell sources are reliable or not, and determining whether or not that source is academic, if it's biased, if it's a giant pile of garbage, things like that. So we talk a lot in this chapter about what is a historian and how does history work? How do we learn about history? So a very good place to start for a course called, World Studies. So that's it. Go on the very next page. You'll take a look at the chapter vocabulary, which is what we do at the beginning of every chapter, and then there'll be a short vocabulary quiz. So on the next page, there'll be a video of this shining face talking about the vocab, knock out the quiz, and then that's it for the day. All right, I'll see you on the next page.